Something that always pisses me off is when people try and diss philosophers like Plato, Socrates, Diogenes, Aristotle, on the basis that most of the things that they came up with are pretty obvious common knowledge things now. So you'll have motherfuckers saying some bullshit like, question authority, pursue virtue, examine nature. Yeah, I could have came up with all that if I was alive in the fucking Stone Age. These guys aren't even smart for real. Oh my goodness, son. Here's the point that I really want to drive home. I want to put this into perspective. Most human beings alive today, myself included, and you watching this video, have never had a single original thought in our entire existence. Not once. In our entire lives. And we probably never will. And that's not because we're stupid. That's not to say that we are a bunch of dumb, bumbling cavemen that are incapable of forming a single original thought. It's just that our entire intellectual framework, the foundation that we think on, was built by motherfuckers centuries ago. These guys did it way, way before us, and that's why we're at the level that we're at today. And you've got to put some respect on their name. Asking questions like why do we believe what we believe in, or what are social norms, might seem incredibly obvious to us now because we're looking at it in hindsight. If you were in ancient Athens with all of the other philosophers, you would not have been moving like them. You would have probably lived the rest of your life serving the king and cracking prehistoric femboys on the weekends. But you would not have been creating the blueprint for what modern thought is today. And I'm not even going to limit this to just theories, because philosophers quite literally invented words that we use to this day. Shit like ethics, logic, rhetoric, justice, virtue. All of these things did not exist until Plato or Socrates came around and had to think of them. They had to create them. And then we inherit that logic and use it to this day. But you gotta keep in mind, that shit was just not a thing until they came along. And you have to admit that's pretty important. In the end, I just think it's really ironic how people will downplay the things philosophers have done just because it's simplistic or seems really obvious in hindsight, but fail to keep in mind that at the time that shit was groundbreaking. And even more so, these guys were coming up with all this with no Google, no books, no ChatGPT, no internet, no nothing. They were doing that straight off the dome. And, you know, I'm always gonna give them their flowers. You gotta give them credit where credit is